Joint ventures basically are partnerships that allow multiple people or businesses to combine their resources and complete a deal. Each party contributes either the experience, expertise, or capital to complement the other partners in the deal. It often makes sense to give up some equity and investment if it's going to allow you to get the deal done and grow your real estate portfolio. Also, you are sharing the risk and responsibilities, which is also a great idea. This strategy has given me great investment returns, which I have used to facilitate the purchase of other investment properties on my own. The JV partnerships can be done in different magnitudes. So you can have the large real estate corporations partnering with investment firms or even with other corporations, actually even with the government. Now, on the other side of the scale, you can get into a JV and purchase your first home or your first investment property. For this video, we're going to focus on the smaller scale joint ventures that apply to anyone wanting to get into this growing real estate market. So there are different ways of breaking down a JV, and it really depends on who you're partnering with, their expertise, and basically what they can bring to the table. For the purpose of this video, I'm only going to talk about 3 basic ways that you can split a JV partnership to purchase a property. So the first one is when you have a mortgage holder and the other person that takes the financial burden. In this case, it's actually how I got my first property. I graduated from university, I paid off my debt, I got a full-time job, and my credit score was great, so I had no problem getting a mortgage, but I did not have the capital for the down payment. So I actually partnered with my dad, and he put in the 5% down payment, and we bought a property together. 2 years later, we refinanced, basically took the money out, we split the profits, and I paid the 5% down that he had put into the deal, which basically made me 100% owner of the property. So the second option is when you have someone putting all the labor and the other partners or partner putting the finances, so basically putting the capital into the deal. This is very common when it comes to flipping. So a lot of the the videos or pictures that you see online, you have the before and afters. In a way, that's how they usually work. They basically deal with the construction and they deal with the renovations and all that management, and the other person just puts in all the money. Then after some years, they sell the house, they split the profits, and obviously the person that put the money in, they get their money back. So that's how they usually split it. So the third option is when you have a mix of everything. That is how I got my second duplex. We bought a single home, and my uncle was my partner in this one, and we split the cost of the down payment. We were both on title, and we actually got a private lender to lend us the money for construction, so we could convert it into a duplex. And my uncle put a lot of the labor into the deal. I managed the leasing when everything was done, and also the finances. So the bookkeeping, the projections, also finding the deal, all that was my responsibility. And again, everything needs to be done on paper. And then after everything, we just refinance the property, pay the private lender, and then you just split the profits. And again, you can do this however you see best fit. Now, the most important thing for a successful JV is a mutual understanding of all the terms in the agreement. So first is the role and responsibilities. So again, as I mentioned before, you need to make sure that everyone knows who's going to take care of the tenant search, who's going to manage the property, who's going to do the bookkeeping and the financial tracking, because at the end of the year, all the partners need to have all that information for tax purposes. So who's going to take care of that? And also who's going to keep track of the financial projections. It is an investment, and you obviously want to know how the value it's appreciating, and who's taking care of the bank accounts as well, right? The second group is the commitment breakdown. So having a timeline of how long this agreement is going to be, what are the options to refinance, and who's going to be the one triggering this refinance. Also, what are the operation splits? If there is a cash flow in the property, are you going to just leave it in the bank account? Are you going to put a cap on how much money is in the bank account and then split the rest? So those things need to be worked out. Also, the tax deductions. If you put in a new fridge, who's going to take that tax deductions for their taxes? And also line of credit options. When you buy a property, you have the option to have a line of credit secure with that property. And it's good to have in writing that if this is the case, who's going to be able to use that line of credit? Is it going to be half and half? Is it going to be the one partner. So those things need to be clear. The last group is the terms when exiting the agreement. So basically, if a partner needs to exit for whatever reason, how are you gonna manage all that? So who's gonna basically have a purchase option? So if my partner is gonna exit the deal, am I gonna be the first one to basically buy him out and keep the property to myself, or is it gonna go to the market? What are the appraised values, right? Because when you're gonna sell a property or when you're gonna split, you need to know what the value of the property is at that time. So a way to do it, and what we do, is that each partner will get their own appraisal, and we're gonna get all the values of those appraisals and just get an average, right? So you get the average of the value, and then that's gonna be broken down by the contribution of each partner. The other thing is the capital gains. When you sell a property, you gotta pay taxes on the profits. So how's that gonna be handled? Is it gonna be split between all partners? Is someone gonna take that on? So those are really good things that you need to think about and put it in writing in the JV agreement. Remember, joint ventures are a great tool to get into the market or expand your portfolio, but it needs to be done right to avoid issues down the line. Aside from the example of my JV with my dad and my uncle, I'm actually currently working on my 7th investment property with a friend of mine. So it doesn't really have to be with a family member. It has to be with someone that you trust and that you can put everything in writing and just follow through with the agreement. If you have any questions or would like to explore a JV possibility, please reach out to our team and we will gladly guide you through the process. Thank you.